listening to LOA Recon with the Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma, where we dissect the ins and outs and the art and science of conscious creation, all intended to amp up your manifesting game. Let's have some fun together. Thanks for tuning in for another episode. What do you say we do a Q&A session today? It's been a while since we did one of those, and I've got a bunch of fabulous questions in the inbox. So let's see how many of these we can get through today. Okay, here's one I really like. How can I align with the energy of money if in my present reality all I see is lack and that it keeps me from doing all types of things like freedom from a boring job or a relationship to have time and money for that person and live life to the fullest? Okay, that's the question. The essence of it is, how can I align with money if in my present reality all I see is lack? Okay, so, and look, plenty of people wonder this very thing. The person who wrote me this, you are not the only one wondering it. And this is my answer to the question, how can I align with money if all I see is lack? You can't. You cannot align with money if all you see is lack. Or rather, you might manage to let some money in, but it won't lead to an experience of abundance or freedom if you've been practicing nothing but lack. And that's what you're practicing when that's what you're seeing. If that's all you're seeing, and that's all you're vibrating, then that's all you can create. I'm saying it is possible to manifest money even when you feel lack, but more money isn't going to change the lack feeling for you. It's more likely you won't manifest money at all. It'll continue to be outside of your grasp because we can only manifest what we are the vibration of. And our vibration, if all I see is lack, and it keeps me from doing what I want, that vibration sounds like lack and restriction to me. If that's what we're dialed on, that's what we're manifesting. So you have to find a way to see something else, something other than lack and restriction. If this were me, I would probably focus on freedom and abundance. That's what I would be practicing, not just money, although I'd probably toss in money too, just so I could get used to having some money in my world. And we got to get used to it before we do. That's what we're doing in our manifesting practices. We're getting used to what we don't yet have. We're acclimating to the experience of it so that it starts to feel normal. That's how we learn the vibration of it. And once we know the vibration of it, it has to be so. But if our vibration is only what we're looking at currently, we can't manifest anything other than what we've already got. So you have to find a way to see what you want. And you can practice that. You can find the vibration of what you prefer either by finding ways to see something new, either in your current situation, like, you could look around your present life and see, all right, well, how is abundance already present here? Or you could look at someone else's situation in order to tap that vibration of abundance. It doesn't have to be your own in order for it to be your vibration, although you want to make sure you're doing it without wistfulness or jealousy or angst. You know what I mean? Another way you could maybe conjure up something from your past, maybe a memory of abundance or financial well-being can take you there. Worst case scenario, use your imagination. You could just see it in your mind's eye. That's what our imagination is for. Sometimes that's the best way for us to see something different. And there's nothing more powerful for us than using our imagination in that way. So I probably should have listed that one first. But seriously, if you can find a way to see your present situation differently, I know I can find something in your situation about abundance. I got one example right here. You're getting free coaching. You send an email. You've got access to technology. You've got the intelligence to know about conscious creation. You have so many things going for you already that so many others don't. You have advantage after advantage after advantage. I could see them. Can you? This is worth practicing. It's worth practicing being able to see what you haven't been seeing, because one way or another, you want to find a way to change when you said, all I see is lack. Conscious creation is about being willing to vibrate what isn't so yet. We got to get ahead of it. We got to lead the way right into it. So learning to see something else is what we've got to do in order to experience something else. Or if not see it, at least vibrate it somehow. You could maybe hear it or think it or be it. It doesn't just have to be through vision, but somehow you've got to plug into what you don't see in your reality yet. And it's probably already there. I had a couple ideas. I don't even know your situation that much. But, there's another way, actually. I was thinking about how Abraham has a really good guided meditation on money. It's one of their vortex meditations. That one, I like it. And I don't like guided meditations, but I like Abraham's. You can find it on YouTube. If you just search for, I think it's called Financial Well-Being Vortex Meditation or something like that with Abraham in it, you'll find it. That way you've got someone else leading you by the hand to engage better pictures than the ones you're seeing in your real life. But that's the answer to the question, how can I align with money if in my present reality all I see is lack? You can't. You've got to see something else. And there's all sorts of cool ways to do that. And that's what conscious creation is. Okay, next question. How am I doing on time? Okay. I've been having one very specific negative thought about a relationship for the last few years that, try as I might, I've never been able to get rid of. It came true last week. I want to give you a big hug because I imagine that was not enjoyable. It came true last week, and it was a terrible feeling to experience knowing I played a part in the situation happening. Now that I've seen very easily how a negative... It wasn't that easy. You had to think it for a couple years. It wasn't that easy. Okay, so now that I've seen very easily how a negative thought can come true, I'm trying very earnestly to stop thinking another negative thought about my body that I've also been thinking for about 4 years or so. Okay, it makes me wonder what happened 4 years ago. How do I shut off the gremlins that keep shouting this thought? Oh, gremlins are shouting. Oh, I hate when they do that. I've tried affirmations that say the complete opposite. Gremlins shouting, it's making me laugh. Not because it's a laughable thing. I know it's not. Okay. How do I shut off the gremlins that keep shouting this thought? I've tried affirmations that say the complete opposite thing, but I want them to be stronger. How can I flip this vibration around? Because it's obvious the fear of it coming true is strong enough for an email to you. Okay. So I feel for you. I think we all have been in a situation similar to this where unloading the negative thought thing seems really challenging. I know I've done blog posts on this. I've probably done a podcast episode, but here are my thoughts on it. First of all, I want to say it's very astute of you to realize that you want to turn this other thought around before it manifests too. But boy, can you feel the resistance in that? The fear? Like you don't want. And that's a magnet for it. I've been here, done this. I know how this one goes. So, yeah, first of all, yay awareness. Second, resistance. We want to do something with that. And the other thing I want to say is that, you know what? And this is maybe more about your relationship, that the thing that already manifested there. We don't play with the past, the things that have already happened, nearly as much as we could. So, you didn't say this in your email, but don't despair that whatever happened in your relationship that you created through that negative thought that you thought for years, you don't have to just, you've got room to play with that one. That's not what you're asking though, so I won't answer that unasked question. But here's an answer that might really help. Okay, I've been here. I had two thoughts that were strongly fear-based. They were so strong, I was very clearly aware of them. And I knew that if I didn't work on those, they were coming for me. And I don't think I need to activate them by speaking specifically about what they were. Oh, you know what I realized? Oh my gosh. I had 3 thoughts that were totally fear-based. 2 of them I worked on. They have not manifested. The other one I did not work on, and it did manifest last year. Okay, that really speaks to the power of being willing to clean up fear-based thinking. Okay, here's how I did it. So this isn't the only way, but you've already engaged an affirmation and you want something besides that. So here's what I did. with one subject, ooh, I just got goosebumps thinking about this. Ha ha ha. I got friendly with it. I studied it. I mean, I studied resources that helped me not be afraid of it. And I realized it wasn't the big scary thing that I thought it was. I just got up close and intimate with it. I embraced it like literally embraced it. I embraced it through study. I didn't live it, but I studied those who did. And what I realized is that it's not more than I am. It's not bigger, more powerful than me. And that's how I released my resistance to it. I thought, you know what? Even if this did happen, I'm up for it. It's not the be-all, end-all thing that I used to think of it as. I just realized, I got this. All right, I know how I would handle this. Fear gone, resistance gone. I got friendly with it. Nancy Berry Jansen wrote a guest post for me years ago. She was quoting someone else, but I like to give Nancy credit. That the title was Invite Your Problems to Stay. And that sounds so contradictory. I'm really fond of quoting it. Anyone who's listened to this podcast a lot has heard me say it before. I really like that because so often we're pushing against what we don't want, and that we're magnets for it when we do that. So if I can just take the edge off, if I can pull the rug out from under the fear, which I did by studying it. It's like when you're afraid of driving a stick shift. I've used this analogy before. You've all heard about the job I had in high school. I was working for some publisher, and we had to sometimes drive things to like the printer, stick shift car, and I didn't technically know how to drive a stick shift, and I was so scared, so scared. I basically had to quit that job. I was terrified of driving anywhere. It was bad. And now I've gone car shopping with my friend, and both of us really, really enjoy driving manual transmissions. Like every time a car salesman shows us an automatic, it's like, oh, dang, neither one of us want. We look forward to it. It's a beautiful, fun thing. Okay, that kind of a turnaround with it is powerful. I'm taking too long to answer this than I wanted to. So anyway, that's how I released my resistance to it. I embraced it through study, not through living it experience-wise, but it took the edge off. Okay, with the other subject, okay, my subjects are cancer and IRS audit, and I'm not going to say any more than that. But with the other subject, I just got disciplined enough to think better feeling thoughts. I didn't totally turn it around with one big affirmation. Instead, what I did was I just found softer thoughts that felt better. I used some logic. I used some common sense. I found reasons to believe that this isn't anything to fear. I just talked myself off the ledge with soothing self-talk. So that's what I did. Just one better feeling thought after another. I tried a little Byron Katie work on it. Like, could I look, in her turnaround, how does Katie's process go? It's like, can I know that is this true? Yes or no? Can I know that it's true? Yes or no? Who would I be if I couldn't think that thought? And I forget the fourth one, but the turnaround, I really like the turnaround, is when you ask yourself, could I look forward to this thing that you were resisting? I've talked about this before too. Remember that dog walk when I was with Sadie? And I imagined, could I look forward to Sadie being a total nuisance and terror on this dog walk? And it was such a ridiculous thought. Of course I could not look forward to it. But just thinking it made me laugh. And that laughter broke the evil spell of it. And she was an angel on that dog walk. It was amazing. Okay, so could I look forward to having this experience? I tried that with the audit, and that was a stretch. But you know what? One of my favorite all-time movies is based on that experience, and she had a wonderful time. Okay, maybe not in the beginning. Stranger Than Fiction. Oh, I love that show. She didn't love it in the beginning, but it turned out amazing. And that's what contrast does. It makes life even better when we know how to roll with it, and we know how to roll with it because we are conscious creators. So it just really, the whole process of better feeling thoughts and just feeling around for something that offered some relief, it really just, it made me realize, what am I afraid of? Because there's nothing more powerful than me. I am sourced from spirit. I'm an observer. I am creating my entire world. I'm the one in charge. No one approves or declines whatever I might want to focus on. Whatever I want is mine to choose. All I have to do is be willing to practice it a little bit. Not even all the time, just a little bit. And I know how to do that. And I'm not even limited by the past. Anyone who thinks that that's a stretch, that what's done is done, you might want to check out a specific chapter from The Quantum Revelation by Paul, I think it's Levy, Levy. Oh my word. I'm going to do a separate episode of the podcast just on that book. I am not done with it yet. Oh my word. I love that book. And not everyone will. It's got some terrible reviews. It seems like you either love it or hate it, but I'm in the love it category, like a game changer. I feel like I'm a different person just from the chapters I've read. Okay, anyway, The Quantum Revelation by Paul Levy. I can hear everyone saying, what book did she say? I just reviewed it at Good Vibe University earlier this month. Members will find a review in the archives. Anyway, that look at how the past isn't what we thought it was. It's not over. We're not stuck with it. It will liberate you from thinking that you are limited in any way, shape, or form, even from things that already seem done. Anyway, my short answer to this question is better feeling thoughts. That's what I did. But there are other approaches. You could also try some EFT or maybe Sedona method or some other release technique. You could set an intention that this thought gets easier to let go of. You could call in your divine support team for some help with it. You could change your story that there's this negative thought. You can't stop thinking about your body for 4 years. That would be helpful too. I would even start there because otherwise it's like having the brakes on while you're trying to press the gas. But you know what I do when I'm in a real fix? I ask my most powerful conscious creator friends to think the thought for me. I get them in on it. And then I know I'm not the only one who's activating this new thought for me. It's easier for them anyway because they don't have the same resistance or limiting beliefs that I do. In fact, that's what Ming Chi and Lisette Molinet are doing with the Intention Circle at Good Vibe University every month. They're gathering with fellow creators to conjure things for other people. So, but you know what else I might do? I might make a list of reasons to believe in what I want, and I would review that list daily. I'm such a fan of that exercise. I'm a huge, huge fan of that. Lots of things to play with. I hope that gives you some inspiration. Okay, let's see if we can get another question in here. Oh, I like this one. Have you looked into Brene Brown's recent talk on Netflix around finding courage through vulnerability? What does being vulnerable about our states to others do to our manifesting goals? I specifically have a hard time being vulnerable in romantic scenarios and would like to feel more confident. Well, you know what? I recently did an episode where I mentioned Brene Brown's work. Oh, it was on our receiving. It was on the receiving episode where I was talking about one of the surprising side effects of working on my receiving skills. So I don't know, that episode might already answer your question, but let me speak specifically to having trouble being vulnerable in romantic scenarios. Ooh, you know who I hear in my ear? Relationship coach Lisa Hayes, wanting to know more about what's causing that difficulty in opening up. If it's caused by some past trauma, it would be flippant of me to say, well, anything. But I will say two things. One, self-love fixes everything. When you are in touch with who you really are, and when you love yourself, that's what you're doing. You're getting to know the real you. You're seeing yourself as you really are. When you are good at loving yourself, you know there's nothing to fear. Fear just gets overwritten. We don't worry that someone else might not love us because we already love ourselves. And there's nothing better than that. There's no more. Nothing matters after that. That's game over. I mean, that's the ultimate win. That's what I mean. It's the ultimate win. No one else's opinion matters when we get there. So self-love. I would just do heavy doses of it. It makes you immune to the fear of, or even the experience of rejection. It doesn't even seem like rejection. It's just like, oh, not a vibrational match. No big deal. But what else might be contributing to hesitancy to be vulnerable? I don't know, but here's the other thing I would say. Number 2, call Lisa Hayes for an intro session. I think she still does those, where she'll talk to you before you hire her. Because, she's interviewing you as much as you're interviewing her. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Don't call her and say, hey, Jeanette said you'd give me a free session. Just say, hey, I wondered if you might be able to help with something I'm working on, and lay it out for her. Also, if you're a GVU member, hello, there is an incredible archive of Lisa Hayes' wisdom in the Love and Relationship Department. She has done so many amazing series for us. I'm a huge fan of the content we've got there from Lisa. But if you can get her directly, Lisa Hayes, her URL is Lisa, M as in Mary, Hayes, that's HAYES.com. Super savvy, LOA-based love and relationship coach. So, all right, let's call that good for today. Thank you, everyone, for the great questions. We'll get to others later. I hope you enjoyed this, got some sort of inspiration from it. We know, above all else, what do we know, everyone? I'll let you say. You know what I'm going to say right now, right? Don't listen to me. Listen to your inner being. Anything I say that resonates, that makes you feel more free or more expansive or more hopeful, more optimistic. That's your inner being saying yes to that. But you want to listen to your inner being, not to me. If I say anything that makes you go, I don't know, anything that doesn't feel good to you, ignore it, because it means your inner wisdom knows something different, and that's always better than anything I think I know. So listen to yourself above all else, but hopefully this sparked something helpful for some of you listening. I do appreciate you listening. Thanks, everyone, and happy manifesting.